Hi guys, so today I'd like to talk about people's obsession with sport, whether that's football, golf, baseball, basketball, American football, rugby, whatever the sport is. Um, Sport is a really healthy thing, and there's a lot of worse things that you could be doing in life, taking drugs or whatever. There's so many worse things you could be doing, but some people follow their team and they get so obsessed with it, and it's almost like it's an extension of themselves. Because in this country, in England where I live, a lot of men like, and women as well, like football, which to Americans they call it soccer, but and they get so obsessed with their team, and if their team wins, they're happy. And if their team loses, it makes them sad, and it's almost like the football team is an extension of them. So if you're those 11 players, so if it's Manchester United against Liverpool, and you're a Manchester United supporter and your team wins, it's like, wow, and you feel good because those 11 guys are kind of like representing you, but it's really kind of crazy in a way as well. There's no logic to it. It's and also there's a big kind of disparity between the people that support those teams and the players. So you might have a job in a factory or an office or whatever. You're earning £200 a week, £300 a week, £400 a week, whatever, even £500 a week. You're earning that kind of money, and these players are earning £80,000 a week, £100,000. Some of them are earning like £200,000 a week, £300,000 a week for one game of football, which lasts for 90 minutes. And it's changed from the old days in the 1950s or the 1940s or before that. There wasn't much difference between the fan and the player. So the person watching the match and the person playing football, there wasn't much difference. Now it's massive. Which, of course, you're not going to turn it down. If I was a football player and somebody offered me £100,000 a week, I'm not going to say no, because you wouldn't, would you? But I guess it's just, it's just a game. I used to really be into football 10 or 15 years ago. I used to know all the managers' names. I used to know all the players on every side. I used to know the names of the football grounds. I used to really follow it year after year after year, and I kind of did that for 5 years or something. And I kind of got sick of it, and I still watch football now. If it's the World Cup, which is every 4 years, we have the World Cup, and you have to qualify, so I like to see England do well, hopefully, and but it's not such a big deal, and people seem to know. Some people seem to be more concerned with their football team than they are with what's going on in the world, with wars and stuff. They're more upset, and they put more passion into a transfer. Like if one of their players gets transferred to another team or whatever, or their team loses, they're more passionate about men kicking a ball around, and that's what they are. They're just basically, let's face it, they're kicking a football around. They're more passionate about that than they are over things that actually matter in this world. And I remember the intellectual Noam Chomsky. He's 87 years old now, but so he's been around a long time, and he's an amazing guy. And I remember him saying, it's not that people don't have the intelligence to learn about what's going on in the world, because they put all their energy into knowing all the trivial stuff around every team, every manager. They know they can reel off all these facts and figures. They can tell you who was the best player in 1956. They can tell you, but when it comes to stuff that matters, they're just not bothered. And it's kind of like sport is almost like a religion now. you know, and it happens in America as well with baseball and American football and basketball, and here it's like, you know, football. And so it's kind of, I guess it's like anything in life, it's about having a balance, being balanced, but it's just not, you know, some people beat each other up. You have football hooligans, and they kind of like, they automatically hate the opposite team, which is so irrational. And it reminds me of religion in a way. You know, if you're born into a certain family, you're going to be a Muslim, or you're going to be a Christian, or Jewish, or whatever, because that's where you're born. And it's the same with football. You know, if your dad's if your father's a Manchester United supporter, you're probably going to be one. Or if your father's supports Chelsea or whatever, it's kind of like there's no logic. And some people actually, you know, are willing to kind of hate somebody over a game. It's so pointless. So I'm not against sport as a really healthy thing, but I guess it's just, I don't understand people's obsession and passion. I'm passionate about things, but not really sport. Of course I want England to win, like I said before. If it's the World Cup, I'd like England to do well, but just not important.